France's position in Niger has become even more precarious with the passing of a deadline for the French ambassador to leave. Niger's military leaders had given the French envoy until Sunday to go, but Paris has refused to withdraw its personnel, saying that it does not recognize the junta's authority. Demonstrators gathered outside of the French military base in Niger's capital, Niamey, on Sunday, calling for the soldiers to leave. Some were waving Russian flags. Niger is a former colony of France, which still has some 1,500 troops based there. It has now been more than a month since Niger's military overthrew the democratically elected president. Monitoring events in Niger for us is our correspondent Olisa Chukuma, who is based in Lagos in neighboring Nigeria. So, Paris says it has no intention of complying with the ultimatum to pull its diplomats out of Niger today. What could happen next?
Well, Sarah, that is what everyone's waiting for, to see what happens next, because that deadline issued to the French top diplomat, the ambassador, French ambassador to Niger, to exit on Friday, elapsed yesterday, last night, Sunday. And we did see lots of protesters outside the French military base camp on the outskirts of the capital, and also more protests almost encircling the French embassy in the capital, Niamey, even leading up to the night. Now, what we do here, according to thrillers, is that electricity supply and water has been cut off from the French embassy, and it looks like the junta have gone ahead to even order a blockade of food supply to the French embassy, perhaps trying to force out the French, out of Niger, since the French authorities made it clear that the junta does not have the authority to exit the French ambassador. So it looks like the junta has rallied on the people to really go out there and protest, and we've seen lots of those protests in front of the French camp, military base, and also at the French embassy, Sarah.
And in the meantime, countries of the West African bloc, ECOWAS, have said that they are prepared to intervene with force to restore President Bazoum to office. Is there any indication that may indeed happen?
Well, it looks like ECOWAS have their finger perhaps on the trigger and are not willing to pull it, so to speak, because they had made it clear that that military option is still on the table, but they want to exhaust all diplomatic efforts as much as possible. We had a statement from one of the ECOWAS officials on Friday saying that they will try to negotiate, and perhaps they use the word bending over backwards just to get this diplomacy, to get away to solve the situation in the Niger crisis. It waits to be seen if the rest of Africa support military intervention, though ECOWAS do have that. AU, which is the African Union, do not seem that they have given perhaps a go-ahead for military intervention. Don't forget there have other crises in the continent of Africa. They've got Sudan, they've got Libya, so they might not be, positive looking for an ECOWAS way to intervene militarily. So all fingers might point to perhaps a way to solve it, through diplomacy. But ECOWAS maintain that option is still on the table to perhaps for a military intervention.
DW's Olisa Chukuma with the latest on the situation in Niger. Thank you.